Hey guys, John here with Just John Gaming. We're going to be taking a look at Marvel Snap. First we're going to go over the basic game mechanics, then get into some live gameplay. Okay, first thing you'll need to do is set up your deck. Decks consist of 12 cards. You will only have one of each character, so there won't be multiples of that card in your deck. So here we have a close-up of a card. The number in the top left represents its energy cost. That's how much energy you're going to need to have in order to play it. The number in the top right represents its power, so when it's played at a location, it's going to add 2 power to that location. And each card has its own ability. So for example, Doctor Strange here, on reveal, or when it's flipped over, he's going to move your highest total powered cards to the same location that he's played at. The point of the game is to win 2 of the 3 locations by having the highest total power. You can see here in the middle, these large tiles, those are the locations. Below those are the cards that I've played, and above are the cards that my opponent has played. Notice that each location also has a number at the top and bottom. That represents the total power that we each have at that location. The top number of the first location is 16. This is how much total power my opponent has at this location. Remember that each card has its own power that it adds to that location located in the upper right-hand corner. All of the cards at this location add up to a total of 16. Now compare that to my total power at the bottom of 6. If this were the end of the game, my opponent would win this location by having a higher total power at that location. As you can see in the middle location, I have a power total of 23, so I win that location. And the last location you can see I have 20. So if this were the end of the game, I would win this match by winning 2 of the 3 locations. Now keep in mind that you can only have a total of 4 cards at any location. Here we have a close-up of a location. Similar to character cards, locations have special rules or abilities, and sometimes those abilities aren't revealed until after you've played a card at that location. This makes the game very interesting. I'll go over this more later, but you'll start to familiarize yourself with the locations the more you play. This is called the Energy Orb. It represents how much energy you have to spend on cards for the turn. Each game consists of 6 turns. On the first turn, you'll receive 1 energy and can play a card that costs 1 energy. On the second turn, you'll receive 2 energy and can play 1 card that costs 2 energy or 2 cards that cost 1 energy each. At the beginning of the third turn, you'll receive 3 energy, and so on and so forth up to 6. During the gameplay, you'll notice this cube at the top. In every game, each player puts in 1 cube. As the game progresses, each player can choose to snap by clicking this if they're feeling confident about their odds of winning. It's kind of like betting, but by snapping, you're putting more cubes on the table. If you snap and your opponent doesn't feel confident about their odds, they can retreat. If they retreat, you win, and you win the total number of cubes shown at the top. If they accept, the number of cubes doubles and play continues. Each player can snap 1 time per game to double the current stakes of the game, and on the last turn, the cubes will automatically double. So a snap game can be worth anywhere from 1, 2, 4, or 8 cubes. Okay, here's what the game looks like in full screen. As a reminder, the orb at the bottom represents the total amount of energy you have to play your cards. Remember, by turn 6, you'll have up to 6 energy to spend. At the top of the screen represents the current stakes of the game. You can snap or bet when you feel confident about your odds and increase the pot. Here we have the cards that are in my hand. You start with 3 cards and draw 1 new card each turn. In the middle here are the locations that I can play my cards to, trying to get a higher total power than my opponent. You'll see here only 1 location is currently revealed. The second location will be revealed on the second turn, and the third will be revealed on the third turn. You can still play cards to unrevealed locations, but it's kind of risky not knowing what that location is and how it's going to affect you later on. Okay guys, so those are the basic game mechanics. Now let's jump into a game so you can see all of this in action. Okay, so on the first turn here, we drew Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, and Rocket as our starting hand. Then we're going to draw 1 additional card here. Angela's our draw for the turn. First location that flipped up was the Superflow. If you have no cards at this location, you get an additional energy, which is really strong. So that's going to allow me to play my Angela a turn earlier. and I don't want to play any cards into the Superflow currently. I want to take advantage of that extra energy for as long as possible. Angela is a 2 energy, 1 power card that when a card is played on the same location as her, she gets an additional +2 power. So go ahead and go to the next turn. Not a great location to be playing cards into. We don't want to shuffle rocks, so into our deck. This location, when a card is played here, you shuffle 3 rocks into your deck, and a rock is a 1 energy, 0 power card. Not great, but since I've committed to playing Angela in the center, I'm going to go ahead and continue to play some cards there. I have some decent cards already in my hand, so even if I draw a couple of rocks, it's not terrible. I'm going to go ahead and play Mr. Fantastic here. He's a 3 energy, 2 power card. That's going to grant an additional 2 power to each adjacent location. So played in the center, he's going to add 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and he's also going to give Angela an additional 2 power because I played a card at her location. Okay, so my opponent played Cosmo there. Cosmo prevents on-reveal abilities, so when a card flips up, if it has an on-reveal, Cosmo is going to prevent that from happening. Onslaught Citadel. Ongoing effects here are doubled. So that's actually really good for this deck. I have quite a few ongoing effects. Khazar and Ant-Man here both have what's called ongoing effects. Those happen at all times versus an on-reveal like Mr. Fantastic. Well, I guess on reveal like Rocket here actually is only happens when he flips up. So let's go ahead and play our Khazar there. That's going to double his ability of giving my 1-cost cards an additional +1 power. That's very strong for me. Okay, so a Warpath out of my opponent is very strong for that location as well. His ongoing is if you have an empty location, he gets +4. So it being doubled by Onslaught Citadel means he's getting +8. So I'm going to go ahead and play my Iron Man on Onslaught Citadel as well because he has an ongoing effect that doubles the total power at this location. And that's going to happen twice due to Onslaught Citadel. So this should go up from 6 to 24, I believe.
I am Iron Man.
Claw from the opponent. Mid is pretty strong for them. Alright, so we are in the 5th turn. We have 6 total resources. I think it's effective for me here, actually, to go ahead and play my Ant-Man on the right, too, on the Onslaught, because, again, he has an ongoing effect that if the location is full, he gets a +3 power. So if I also play a Sentinel there, filling that location, then we're going to end up with, let's see, 24, 25, 20. It's going to be a lot of power. I can't do that quick math in my head, so let's... And then let's go ahead and add some more power in the mid here and play Rocket onto the Angela. I'm hoping my opponent will play an additional card to give Rocket that +2 power. So he's a 1 energy 2-cost card. On reveal, if an opponent plays a card there, he gets +2 power. Okay, so we should... I think we're pretty far ahead on the right location here that I think will be okay. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm going to go ahead and snap. And then we're just going to play America Chavez. America Chavez has a special ability that you always draw her on the 6th turn and never before. So that's why you saw that animation that came in and she was placed into my hand. She's always going to be drawn on turn 6 if she's in your deck. So that's going to add 9 power from her, and then also an additional 2 power from Angela's ability. So we should end up at 24 here, which I feel is pretty strong. I don't know that my opponent can play anything in the middle here. That is going to add an additional 12 power to theirs. So again, we already snapped. I think we have pretty good odds here of winning. pretty strong, but not quite good enough. So we ended up winning that game with a snap. Yeah, and I won because my opponent also didn't play anything that's super flow, and that Mr. Fantastic was adding 2 power over here, even though I didn't have any cards. So as you can see, I won 2 of the 3 locations, which won me the game, and I won a total of 4 cubes because I had snapped. Now, at the end of the game, you collect your rewards. It's going to show you the amount of cubes and level up your rank, and then give you some boosters for a random card in your deck. Boosters are used to upgrade the looks of the cards, and we'll go over that in another video, what that does exactly. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe for more Marvel Snap live streams and tutorials coming soon. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. Okay, see ya.